I'm back! Sorry about that, guys. I just figured I'd start that off for this. Anyway, I'm so good. It's so good to be back after a while. This is History of Digimon Digital Monsters Season 2, Episode 1 of my show. But this isn't an actual episode of the second season. It's an episode of character battles on the 3 new main characters, plus TK Kari and stuff, and all the other characters in between. But first, before that, I want to just say thank you for the support you gave me on the first season and all that stuff. And one other thing, there was also a lot of what I'm gonna do is before I start talking about doing the character battles and the new characters, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell you what's happened with the characters from the first season. Okay, so basically, Ty is in high school. TK's brother, Matt, is trying to become a rock star, and like I said when I did his character bio back when I used the clips, I said that his stage name was the Digidestin, formerly known as Matt, which, as I said, was giving away too much information. Sora is a tennis player. Mimi and her folks moved to New York, and Izzy's in high school, and Joe's still studying to become a doctor and stuff. But basically, for TK and Kari, the adventure has just begun and stuff. I just thought I'd get that small part out of the way. And anyway, now I'll get into the character battles on the 3 new main characters, plus TK and Kari. Oh man, I'm sorry, I am just a bit nervous because I haven't done this in a while, so if my voice sounds like it's a bit stuttery, it's because I'm a bit nervous because I haven't recorded myself for a while since I finished the first season and did the recording where I did the review on the movie Olympus Has Fallen. So if I sound a little stuttery, I apologize, guys. Anyway, now getting into it, as I said, this is History of Digimon Digital Monsters Season 2, Episode 1, but this is not an episode of the second season, it's an episode of character battles on the main characters of the second season and stuff, and the first season set of characters, like I said, they're in the second season because it's a sequel, but they're kind of minority rules and stuff. Anyway, also, I just think I should get this out of the way very fast. After this video is done, the next video will have to be under 19 minutes. I just thought I'd get that out of the way. Anyway, continuing on, I'll start it off now. Oh man, now I have to talk about him. The first of the couple of new main characters I'm going to talk about, his name is Davis Motomiya, and basically, Davis, he's an okay character in my point of view, but he has certain points to him where he acts kind of like a bit of more of a bonehead than Ty does. Like, well, actually, the only time Ty acted like a bonehead any time in the first season was when he tried to force Greymon to digivolve to Skull Greymon and stuff. Anyway, continuing on. Davis knows about the digital world in 2 ways. The first way is he has a connection to the digital world through Ty because apparently Ty told him about some of his adventures, and I believe I also stated this part when I put in the description for one of the videos for the first season on the 3rd arc. Davis was one of the characters that was trapped in the convention center with the Bakamons and stuff, and basically his partner Digimon's name is Vmon, and now that I got to his partner, I just wanted to mention something about him. Vmon is apparently he's a legendary Digimon in the digital world. Supposedly the legend about him is that he's a fun-loving, adventure-seeking little Digimon that brings the person who has him good luck and stuff. And he has multiple evolutionary forms. I'll explain the first 3 for right now, and then I'll explain the others later. The first 3 forms that he has are part of a digivolving form that's called Armor Digivolve, which is another new form of digivolving that is introduced in this season in the first episode. And then his special attack is known as the Headbutt, and one of his armor evolutionary forms is called Flame Dramon, where basically uses the Digiegg of Courage to armor Digivolve the Flame Dramon, and as Flame Dramon, I'll save that for when I get there, but I just thought I'd get that out of the way. And Davis does know a bit about the digital world, like through Ty and stuff, and in this season he kind of had a bit of a rivalry with TK's character because of Kari and stuff, and basically, and there is an episode in the second season where he acts like a bit of a more than a bonehead than Ty ever did, but that's mostly because of what TK did in one of the early episodes. I'll explain that when I get there. Okay, anyway. Davis, like I said, was one of the characters that was trapped in the convention center by the Bakumans and stuff back in season 1, arc number 3. I believe that was in episode 35 and stuff when the Bakuman took over the convention center and held everyone hostage. I just thought I'd get that a little bit. Okay, now I think get into the last two new main characters. Like there's technically 4 new main characters, but one of them actually starts off as a villain, and I'll explain that later when I get to him. Anyway, continuing on, basically what the second of the 2 main characters, of the 3 new main characters the second one is another boy. His name's Cody, and basically his Digimon partner is a Digimon known as Armadillomon. And Armadillomon also has 2. Technically, Vemon is the only one that has multiple evolutionary forms. The others just have a couple of evolutionary forms and stuff. Basically, Armadillomon contains 2 forms of armor digivolution. One that comes with the Crest of Knowledge Digiegg, and the other that comes with the Digiegg of Reliability. The first of his 2 evolutionary forms is called Digimon, and the other is called Submarimon. And he's an armadillo-like Digimon and stuff. And as Digimon, his special attacks are called Rock Cracking and Gold Rush. And then as Submarimon, his special attacks are called Oxygen Torpedoes. It's called Oxygen Torpedoes, which is basically a blast of air that he shoots out of these 2 holes in his subpart. Anyway, and now I'll explain I'll explain what Cody's connection to the digital world is. In season 1, episode 39, remember when I did if you guys remember the video I did on the last episode of the 3rd arc, there was a plane that had to make I said there was a plane that had to make an emergency landing. Well, Cody was one of the passengers on that plane, and that was how he kind of made contact with the Digimon and stuff because of that. And now I think I'll get into the second last of the 4 new main characters. Her name is Yoli, and she does have connections with the digital world, but her connection is basically connected with the movie. But I'll just make a quick reference for you guys. She was in the second part of the movie, which kind of acts as a epilogue slash prologue. She was one of the humans that was sending the emails during the battle against the Aboramon. And at first it helped, but it started to bite them in the butt a bit. I'll explain why when I get to the second part of the movie. I just thought I'd get that out of the way. Anyway, her partner's name is Hawkmon, and And Hawkmon also has two Armored Digivolve forms. His first of his two Armored Digivolve forms um is known as Halcyon, which is the form he has when he digivolves using the Digi-Egg of Love. And the second one is called Shurimon, which is the one used with the crest of the Digi-Egg with the crest of sincerity on it. And basically, Digimon is the only other one, other than the other two main characters, new Digimon, that has multiple evolutionary forms. He also has a golden armor form and two other forms after that, but I'll explain those. I'll explain what his golden armor form is right now because it's another form of armor Digivolve. His golden armor form, I guess I'll explain that when I get to there, but I just thought I'd get that out of the way anyway. And oh man, now I think I'll talk about the last of the new main characters. Well, this new main character kind of starts off as the villain for the first season, like villain for the second season. I mean, like from episode 1 all the way to episode 21. His name is Ken Ichijoji, and basically he's a really hyped up human being in the real world. What I mean by that is he's a very smart genius and stuff like that, and and basically he's a really smart kid and in the human world, but in the digital world, the Digimon fear him as the evil Digimon Emperor and stuff. And basically, his partner's name is Wormmon, which is basically a caterpillar, kind of like Digimon and stuff. And basically, Ken does the same kind of thing that Demonmon's Blackbeard did. He uses Dark Rings and Dark Spirals to turn the Digimon into slaves and stuff. I'll explain more about that later. But he does turn his character does turn around in episode 23, which is I'll explain that also. And basically he he has a brother who I'll also explain later, and in two episodes, there are two other things I want to mention about him first before I end before I end this video. There are two other things I want to mention about him. One is the fact that my least favorite episode of the second season is the third episode. That's basically because of what he says as the Digimon Emperor. I'll just give you a little tidbit about what he says. He says that based on the laws of physics, only perfect human beings could be Digidestined, and that he is the only perfect human being and stuff. And basically, I take serious offense to that in the fact that in Davison, Yoli's, and Cody's case, I can understand why he said it because they're kind of new to the digital world thing. Davis knows about it through Ty and through his experience with the Pokemons when he was trapped in the convention center. Yoli was one of the kids that was sending the emails during the battle against Diabormon, and Cody was on the plane. But other than those instances, they don't have any connection with the digital world whatsoever. But in TK Kari's case, I kind of take offense to that because they were experienced when it came to that. Oh, I guess maybe what I can also do first is two more things before I end this video. I'll have to reference season 1, episode 14 of my show, without episode 13 twice during the second season. I won't explain the episode name for now, but I'll just explain to you what the episode number is. The first time I'll have to reference it is episode 19, and the next time is episode 35. I won't tell you what the episode title names are until I get to those points, though. I just thought I'd get that out of the way. And, now, like I said, the reason why I took offense to what he says in episode 3 is because of the fact, it's because really, Davis, Yoli, and Cody don't know much about the digital world other than their personal experiences with it, like Yoli's in the movie. Davis is when he was trapped in the convention center with the Pokemon, and all he knows from Ty, and Cody's instance when he was on the plane that had to make the emergency landing. But I take offense to it in Kari and TK's case because they had a lot more experience. So that's why I take offense to that. I just thought I'd get that out of the way. Anyway, I guess this will end the video for today, and I'll have the next video out probably sometime tomorrow. So, but before I end this video, I just want to say it's good to be back, and I'll see you guys next week, and as I always say, keep it digital.